So join in whiteboard. That link is shared. So you can see in a chat box, the jam file in the meeting is being shared. You can come to that meeting. Join quickly on the link. Join in whiteboard, everyone. The link is there in chat box. Quickly. Okay. So let us start. Hmm. So consider right, better, right and better kind. Okay, take down. Categorize. categorize the following relationship. Shifts into generalization, aggregation, aggregation or association. Okay. So take down the first question. A country, a country has a capital city. Has a capital city. A country has a capital city. So now for this question, so what you can add? Only you need only the class, or you need to have a generalization, or can you use a composition? Sorry, aggregation. So we can consider two classes, right? So assume so we have a country. Okay. So we have one more capital city. Okay, so now we need to have our two classes. So now what kind of relationship we can take here? So can we use a generalization, aggregation or an association? What type of relation can we use here? Can we use just an association here? Speak on. Just respond to me, anyone. Kavya?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me, can we use what kind of relationship can we use between a country and a capital city? So here we have a two classes. So we need to identify what under what type of categories that we are going to consider. Okay, so since the country has a name and the number of people, the same thing can be applicable to the capital city, and capital city is a part of a country. So just we can create an association between the two classes. Okay. So next we have one more a file. Files contains record. So this is a second problem. Okay. So for file containing a record, what kind of relationship we can have? So you have a files. You have a file. We have a record. Okay. We have a file and a record. So now we need to identify the relationship. So can we use a aggregation? Can we use an aggregation? So how the files are composed? File is an aggregation of all the records. Can we say like that? Speak out anyone. Okay. So here, since I am using a whiteboard, here I cannot use those notation. Okay. Just I will tell what kind of relationship each and every file is an aggregation of a different set of records. So next we have a computer uses a computer language on a project. So a person uses a computer language on a project. So for any project to develop that project, we are using a different languages, right? So the project may be consisting of different categories, right? So the project is being is framed or is developed using what? Programming languages. Okay. So when we say a programming language, it can consist of more than one programming language. So why? Because we need to create a user interface. We can have a databases, data. We can have a database. So by using these two things, we are trying to create a project through the interface. The end user or a person is going to communicate with the system. So here, this project is an aggregation of all the computer language. That means it is a project is being made up of made by using a different programming languages, so which can be used by a particular person. So next, what kind we can take? A student takes a course from a professor. So what concepts can we use here? So we can have two different classes. One is a three different class. One is a student, course, and a professor. So what kind of relationship can we have here? Can we have an association? Can we have an association here? So since we are using three different kinds, so we have a So since we are using a student course and a professor, so we can use a concept of n-array association. So here why we are considering n-array association? So here what happens? A professor can take more than two different courses, and all the courses can be related to different semester, and the students can belong to different semester. So here what type of relation we can use? We can use a association, and the type of the association can be a n-array association. And next, a person plays for a team in a certain year. So how can you write the relationship here? So we need to have a three classes. So one is a person, one is a team, and one more is a year of participation year. So how can you create a relationship between this? What type of relationship can you take here? So what type of relationship you can consider here? So can you just take an association here? Speak on. Unmute and speak. Arjun. Arjun.
Ma'am,
Yeah, what type of relationship we can take here? Since we are having three different classes.
1 second, ma'am. I'm saying. For me, it is blank, ma'am.
No, I'm not sharing any. So listen here, I'm not sharing any PPT since all the syllabus is completed. So I'm taking just the exercise which are available in a textbook. Okay, just I'm discussing that. So it should be like a revision, and you can come up with the concepts. Just a grasping of concepts, every concepts. That's it. So I have shared. I am using a whiteboard here. Or if you want me to repeat any concept, you can tell me. I can repeat. You have any doubts in any concept in either of
Ma'am,
the
ma'am, I think you need to accept us, ma'am. Most like few people they don't like you have to allow them in Jamboard.
Jamboard? No? But I didn't get any request. I think you can join. They have you people have to click on the link in a chat box. I have shared also, right? It's available in chat board.
Ma'am, it says access denied.
Access denied. No? No?
Yes, ma'am. I mean,
Yes, you can join. I think I have given a access. Have you joined?
Yes, ma'am.
No, only 15 is visible. That's why in a whiteboard. Okay, let me do with the next one. Okay, next, a polygon is composed of an ordered set of points. So, how can we write the model? What concepts can be used? So, to draw the polygon, what things we need? We need to have a points, right? Without the points or without vertices, we cannot draw any polygon. So, we need to have a points. So, by using the points, we are trying to draw the polygon shape. So what we can do, a polygon, so we have a polygon. So the polygon can be framed by using an aggregation of all the points. So when you are combining all the points, so a polygon or a shape can be used. So here what we are using, so this whatever the points are there, all the points should be ordered. So they have specified it should be an order. So while writing a model, so we need to specify there as a ordered set of points. So that is how we can write the model. So next we shall move with the state modeling diagram. So in a state model, what we have, so we have taken an example of a telephone line, right? So in a telephone line, so for answering, we can write a we can have a submodel. So how can we write a submodel for this? So the submodel can be taken like this. So we have a hung up, and announcing, and one more is recording. So these are the three different states that we are going to have. So from the hung up, it is the initial state. So from the initial state, it will go for announcing. So why it will go for announcing state? So when a person is trying to dial a number, if the number is wrong, so what happens, the system has it will announce a recorded messages, so it will go for a recording. So once that has been done, again it will go back to the initial state. So for this, what we need to do, we need to identify. So when we are taking this, it is a partial diagram. So what we need to do is, so we need to write a model in such a way that the machine detects an incoming call on the first string and answers the call with the pre-recorded announcement. That means what? So depending all the machine should store the information in such a way that it should have the list of numbers, and if the person is in another call, it has to record. So how it has to answer that the person is in another call, or the trunk is busy, or a call is busy. So that has to be added for this. So for that, again what we can do, we can write a substrate diagram for announcing. So next, So for the same telephone exercise, so the question is that telephone answering machine in the previous exercise, that is the hung up, announcing and recording. These are the three different states that the machine is having. So it activates on a first ring. Reverse the state diagram so that the machine answers after 5 rings. That means what you need to take one particular state called as a count. It should keep on tracking the number of rings. So once the number of rings is reached 5, so what happens? The call has to be connected. So if the machine, if someone answers before 5 rings, the machine should not do anything. That means what? So minimum 5 rings will be taken as a threshold. So within that threshold, if the person is answering to the ring, so then what we need to do? We need the machine will not announce any recorded messages, or else what it has to do? It has to take the other way. That is, it has to display, it has to announce the recorded message. Okay, so here we have one more example. The direction control for some of the first toy electronic train was accompanied by interrupting the power of the train. Um, just wait, I will share that PDF so that you can read the question. Are you able to see the screen? Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Answer. Okay, so now you can see the diagram here, right? So this is a diagram which is a partially completed state diagram for one kind of a motor control. Okay, so we have discussed on a opening and closing, automatic closing of a door, garage door, right? So it will go to the, it will assume a different state, opening state, closing state, and uh, open state and the closed state. So there are different states. So here what I have given, so it is a partial diagram that is being given for controlling of a motor which can be used in a house appliances. So here what we can do, so when on is inserted, when on is asserted, the motor control should start and run the motor. That means what we need to, here on state is not been included. Okay, so here what we need to do, so we need to complete this state diagram. So here the description is given. So now tell me, okay, just I will read out. So the motor starts by applying power to start both the start and running windings. So a sensor called starting relay determines when the motor has started, at which point the start winding is turned off, leaving only the run winding powered. So here what we need to do, we need to have we have a state called as a running, we have a starting. Okay, so now what we need to do, we need to add the on and off, we need to add the on button, and we need to write a different states. So depending upon a different states, so it has to be worked. So here the here when we have included the on state, so that means we need to write, we can write this as a sub state diagram. So we can have a on state, on has a button. So when on button on substrate diagram on is being included, so this starting is a substrate diagram. So what happens, it starts running. So here we have a run windings, it will run. So here what we need to do, we need to identify, we need to have a one more button called as a off button. So off button is there already. So when here both two things should happen. So leaving the run winding powered on. That means we need to have a two on buttons. So one just a motor for running and one for running the appliance. So here we need to include the on button and we need to identify the different states for this. That means we need to create a substate diagram for this. So when we have created that, so what we need to do, we need to add some activities. So when the power is on, so we need to identify whether the run winding is running and apply the power to start winding. So we need to, so it has to start its process, it has to start winding or grinding, whatever the appliance is there. So it has to start the process. So it has to identify the state called as a too hot. That means when the motor is too heated, so what happens, it should stop automatically. So we need to create a threshold. So if the motor is overheated, so what happens, it should go to the reset button. That means we need to add one more button called as a reset button. So in a reset button, we need to add an activity that to stop the process. So in such a way that we can remodel the given diagram, the partial diagram. So next, we have one more example of a copy machine which we have discussed in a state diagram of activity. Right there, we had taken a paper jam. So what happens? The paper when there is a paper jam in a machine, so the machine will activate the flashlight. Okay, so this is the diagram. Okay, so here what they have given, so this is a copy emission state diagram. So the copy machine can take a different stage. So one is out of paper, one is making copies, and paper jam is the one stage. So one is a ready state, warming, and off state. These are the different stages, and the different guarded condition is being written here. So what is the question is, so this initially the copy machine will be in a off state. So when it reaches a on state, so what we the machine reverts to the default state, one copy, automatic contrast, and the normal size. That means here on state is not been given. Okay, so how it will go to the on state? So here it will go to the warning state. That means this is an initial condition. The number from the off state, it will go to the warning state. So why it will go to the warning state? So since the power is turned on, it will go to the size of the normal size, whatever the default value is there, it will take a default values, the number of copies, auto contrast, and the normal size. Okay, so while the machine is warming, it flashes the ready light. That means when the machine is ready, so it will show the it will display, it will flash the light. So that is the state that is being given in the machine itself. So next thing is, when the machine completes the internal testing, the ready light stops flashing and remains on. So what happens? This warning light or ready light, why it will be flashing? To set the internal state of a system. So once the internal state of the system is set, so what happens? It will stop there, and the light will be, and it will stop the flashlight, and the system will be in a on state itself. So what happens now? The machine will be in a ready state for a copying. So now what the operator has to do? So the operator may change the parameter, right? So what are the different parameters that operator can do? He can do with the increment. He can increment the number of copies, change the sizes, right? So if the person want to change from A4 to, say, by default it will be in a A4 size, so he can make it to A3 size or A5 size. So he can change the size of the paper. So he can toggle between automatic contrast and a manual contrast. And when the parameters are properly set, the operator pushes the start button to begin making the number of copies. So here what we need to do, we need to extend the diagram for the observation. So what type of observation we need to do? We need to remodel this. So here, to remodel that, what are the things that we need to take? So the copy machine does not work quite right. When it jams, the operator must first remove the jam paper. That is, so it is just saying the paper is jamming. So it has to identify whether the paper is removed or not. So if the paper is removed, then what happens? Again, this paper jam can be taken as a substate diagram, and to check, we can write a one more state diagram whether it is being operated or not. Next, if the machine is turned off and on without first removing the offending paper, the machine stays jammed. That means, so whatever the paper that has been jammed already, so if the person is not removing the paper, so it should state that paper is not cleared. Okay, so that has to be identified here. So these things has to be included. Shall I give mock test tomorrow? One chapter?